Do you feel comfortable giving staff you supervise feedback? Do you know how to start this conversation? Because it isn't easy, is it? What if you had a staff member that you'd heard was making some mistakes, and also one of their colleagues came up to you and said they're a bit worried about their patient care? I've been in nursing for decades, and I've also been a manager and also been teaching for many years. So I've had to give performance management to staff. I've also had to fail students, which I hate doing, but we do need to keep the standards up. And if they're not at that standard, we need to make sure they have a plan of how they can improve. There is a very simple step-by-step process that you can follow, which will give you the confidence to start that conversation. It's also about managing their response. And this is the most important thing, because if you can't manage their response, it's going to go crazy. And it does. So managing their response, and what I mean by that is if they get defensive, and this is a very common thing, a common reaction if someone's giving them feedback and some of that feedback they're not expecting. They can also get angry, they can be silent, or they can actually cry. I had a student just walk out of my interview with her recently, and I just sat there and went, whoa, that hasn't happened before. And then you can't just give them feedback and that's it. You need to support them. Feedback needs to be given with a sense to improve that person and to support them why they make the changes. So you need to go back to them as soon as possible, or the next day, make an appointment with them, which means they know they're coming back to you. They've got that time to think about it overnight and mull it over, and probably call a friend and bitch about you at the same time. But that's okay, because it's part of the process. It's part of them coming to terms with, okay, there's something here I'm not good at. I have to improve. So I have helped teachers and also managers with this type of process, and they have got some great results. And the thing is, you want action. You want things to improve. So you really need to be a compassionate and kind leader, because you know yourself what it's like to get bad feedback. And they're just giving it to you because it's a tick box. That's your 12-month performance appraisal. And it's just a tick. Yep, we've done that. It's all good. Off you go for the next year. Really, feedback needs to be regular. It needs to be positive as well as sometimes you're going to have a conversation with them in your office because that's a quiet space. But I know when someone takes me into the office, it's because I've done something wrong. So you're already apprehensive. So if you're developing a really good relationship with your staff, you should be able to have these conversations without too much worry, as long as you're supporting them. This will become more natural for you. It will build your confidence. You're having honest conversations, which really, it helps you form that respect with your team. Even though you're working as an associate NUM, you're not the NUM, but really you are the leader of that team. So sometimes you're going to have to make difficult calls, and you have to stick by that. To have this conversation and for it to go well will really give you less stress, more energy. And who doesn't want more than that? Because I tell you what, energy is what we all lack. So I'm really excited about this part of my course, because I know it's difficult for people to give it. And this is something I've learned over years of my career with lots of study and trial and error. So I'm offering anyone who's interested a 45-minute, totally complimentary session to talk about your issues with feedback, so I can support you and see if I can help you with this. Thank Thanks for listening today. I hope to see you soon and have a conversation with you because nurses are amazing.